let's get started. So I'm going to move this chair out of the way. And you know what? I'm going to have to turn on the fan because it is pretty warm here in this room. Can you see that chair? It's out of the way. Okay, beautiful. So I invite you to stand up. Now, if you're going to be one that's going to be seated, you're going to do the best that you can with what you got. And to begin with, you have those feet about shoulder width apart. And we'll start in what's called eagle stance or preparation stance. So you bring your heels in and you have your feet out at about little 30-degree angles, okay? Very good. And then we start, as we do with chair Tai Chi, with a bow. So that's with your right fist. So y'all got to figure out what that is, okay? And that left palm. And then we bow down to one another to start our Yang Style 12 short form today. So I'm going to come back up to the front of the room because I want to see the gallery view. Those of you that have the videos on, very good. Okay, and then I'm going to come back. So what we're going to do now is start with the breathing. Again, my feet are a little bit apart, my heels in, and I want to find my belly button and then go either 2 finger widths or 2 inches below the belly button, and that's considered your dantian. So that's your focus today for your breath, and it's your source of your chi, your internal energy. So bring your mind and your breath to that location. You can gaze your eyes softly down at the floor. They may be closed if you so desire, or you can have them wide open. Well, what I invite you to do here now is to breathe in and let's expand the belly. And as we exhale, draw the belly button towards the spine. You might actually place your one hand on your chest to notice, are you also super expanding the upper body? So what we're trying to isolate is to have the belly be the initiation of the breath. And again, breathe in, let the belly get big. Now the chest is also going to rise a little bit, and just know that that happens also. And then exhale, belly button towards the spine. Relax those shoulders down. Again, what this is supposed to do is to kind of get you out of, your thoughts, your racing thoughts, as you pay attention to the breath going in through the nose and the belly expanding as you breathe in and then contracting as you exhale. And again, let's practice that. Breathe in, belly big, and exhale. Again, breathing in, breathing out. So if you go to other Tai Chi classes, you may hear them talk about what's called Wuji stance. And Wuji stance means nothingness, having your mind empty. Now that's kind of mission impossible sometimes, right? So that's why we ask you to listen to your breath as it goes in through the nose and out through the nose. Eventually, I'll ask you to have your tongue connected to your upper palate when we start doing the circulation of the chi energy. Let's do one more breath. Here we go. And exhale. Beautiful. From here, you can bring those feet a little bit apart, point the toes to the front of the room. And what we try to also talk about is when we are standing in Tai Chi, we have a little bend in the knees. We also have the ears aligned with the shoulders, shoulders aligned with the hips, and most of the weight in the back of the foot, okay? And that probably looked like I was leaning back a little bit, and I was, okay? So right now, let's do our warm-up. So we're going to turn our head side to side, neck side to side. Again, little soft bend in the knees. Don't lock the knees. Sitting up nice and tall. If you're doing this seated in the chair. And just notice if your range of motion is increasing or not, or if it feels stiff, one side versus the other. Notice what you notice. And then let's bring it back to the center. Next is our Atlas point rotation, which you're familiar with if you've done chair Tai Chi. So we're going to take that nose and draw a circle. So this is very, very slow. You might be hearing some noise in the neck, in the back of the head. Now, if this particularly makes you feel a little dizzy or a little vertigo challenged, you can have the eyes be looking forward as you are doing the Atlas point rotation. Top of the spine inserted into the bottom of the skull. And then let's take that and go in the other direction. Notice if it feels a little bit more noisy, if there's more noise going on, or if there's different types of sensations happening. For me, I'm hearing it more on that right side than I am on that left side. And it just sounds like a little crinkling noise to me. Let's do one more all the way around. And then join me back here to heart center. Next, let's just go ahead and spin those wrists. Working all those major joints before we get into our short form today. And then let's pause and go the other way, working that brain the other way. If you've got bracelets on, you're going to hear your bracelets making noise. Very good. So we do this next one in our chair Tai Chi. It's the arm swinging, but we add a little knee bend to this. So cup those hands and bend those knees, kind of coordinate that with your arm swing. And if you're close to the wall, make sure your hands aren't hitting the wall. Lubricating those shoulders, those elbows, those ankles, those knee joints. Tap your shoulders if you can, and it kind of changes the rhythm of the knee bends. If you can't tap the shoulders, that's okay too. Go back to regular arm swinging. 2 more, 2 and 1. Very good. Let those arms just kind of dangle there. Next, we're stretching out the back of the legs with salute the earth and sky. So bring those feet a little bit wider apart and let's bend the knees, bend the knees. And then inhale, lift. And as you exhale, again, draw that belly button towards the spine and we're rolling down towards the floor. So you go whatever distance is okay for you. And then inhale, go over to the right-hand side, your right foot. Exhale, over to the left foot. Inhale back to center and roll your body up. All the way up, nice and tall. And then exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift. Exhale, let's go back down towards the floor. Once you get to your stopping point, let's inhale, go over to that right-hand side. Keep a little soft bend in the knees if necessary. Exhale over to the left-hand side. Inhaling back to the center and roll it up nice and slow. So if this is not particularly one of these postures that you need to be doing, just stay here and hang out and we'll join you in a bit. And again, exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift up. One more time. Exhale, belly button tight. Come on down. And then inhale, go over to that right-hand side. Exhale, belly button tight to the left-hand side. Inhaling back to the center, roll it up. Nice and tall. And then exhale, bend the knees. Very good. From here, we're going to be turning the feet out a little bit, stepping a little bit wider, coming back to the center of the room. And let's do the finishing breath here. So we'll inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Now we're going to make fists and bring them down to right here at the hip level. We're doing eagle claw next. So inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, push that fist sky high. Step back a little bit. Inhale back to your chest. And then open up the hand. Exhale, push it forward. Very good. Inhale back to your chest. Exhale out to the side. Open and close 5 times. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to your waist. We're switching sides. Inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up the hand. Exhale, push it forward. Spread out those fingers. Very good. Inhale, back to your chest. Exhale, you can turn your head if you like. Push it out to the side. Open and close 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waistline. Let's do the other side. Inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up the hand. Exhale, push it forward. Inhale, back to your chest. Exhale, out to the side. Last time, this side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to the waistline. Other side, last time. Inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up that hand. Exhale, push it forward. Inhale, back to your chest. Exhale, out to the side. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waistline, and then inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then as if hands were on top of a ball, you're bringing down the energy from the heavens down to your dantian. So everything kind of originates from the dantian. From here, step those feet in and just have the toes pointing forward. We're basically bending the knees and straightening. So a little bit of knee warm up here, kind of like we did with the arm swinging. Again, warming up the ankles, warming up the knees for our work later on in the class. Very good. Let's do 2 more. 2 and 1. And then have your feet kind of pointing out towards the corners, hands on your hips, and basically hip rotation. A little soft bend in the knees if you need to. Very good. And then let's pause and go the other direction. Always got to think about it when I go the other direction. It does not seem normal to me. Feels a little jaggedy on this side. Just notice what you notice, yeah? Let's do 1 more all the way around. And then make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. Very good. And again, toes pointing out towards the corners. Let's go ahead and bend the knees. And let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up. From here, we're going to take the back of the hands down the heart center. It's the blood pressure technique. And what we do in blood pressure technique, we take the thumb over to where the pinky side is, fold the fingers on top so that stimulates the heart meridian. Now, from here, we'll straighten the legs. Inhale, bring this kind of into your armpits. And as you exhale, bend the knees, arms turn out to the side. So again, you're stimulating that heart meridian. And when you turn the hand outward, very good. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, bend the knees, bring the back of the hands down the heart center. Grab the thumbs. Inhale, standing up. Exhale, release it out to the side. Again, inhaling, circle, sweep arms up. Bring the hands down the heart center. Bend the knees as you do so. Grab those thumbs. Here we go. Inhale, straighten those legs. Breathe in. Exhale, arms out to the side. Bend those knees. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then take the hands down the heart center. Bend those knees. And then grab those thumbs. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, arms out to the side. Let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Hands, if they were on top of the ball, bring down that energy back down to the dantian. Very good. Step those feet in. And next, let's do our big 6 QiGong Detoxing. So I'm going to come a little bit more forward. So we take the hands and from the collarbone, from the shoulder down to the inside of the collarbone, we stroke across or we tap. So this is the lung meridian, the kidney meridian, and I believe the stomach meridian. So they are here at 3 different points. And let's do the other side. Again, kind of above and below the collarbone, you can tap, tap, tap. You can stroke it across. You can do both. Very good. Then let's take our hands, spread them out, bring them in front and in the back of the ear. And you can also kind of get back here in the occiput, that kind of round part at the back of the head. Stroke down the side of the neck and the jawline. But be sure to kind of reach those fingers way back there too, okay? You may notice some drainage, some nasal drainage going on when you do the big 6. Very good. Let's do the other side again. Spread the hands out and go down that jawline, go down the side of the neck, get the back of the head. About 70% of our lymph nodes are from the chest up in our bodies. So there's a lot here hanging out. Now, maybe you want to swallow, especially if you're getting some drainage going on. All right, so next is, let's go over to the armpit. So you can do your hand at a right angle and just press into the armpit with that thumb also into the pectoral, which is below the collarbone, by the way. And you can also just kind of rub or do a little soft tap. So men and women that get breast cancer, of course, they're going to look in this area. Did the cancer move to these lymph node nests? All right, let's go over to the other side. So again, press in if you like, maybe a little rub, maybe a little tap. Very good. So we're going to add on to this. I'm going to move my necklace out of the way. We're finding the collarbone and going down about 1 to 2 inches and thumping our thymus. So, during the fall season, we're getting exposed to the cold and flu viruses. So we're trying to stimulate that thymus gland by thumping it and to increase that T cell production. So this is one of your kind of immunity tapping points that you can do. And it's said to do this for about a minute each day. We won't do a minute today, but I just want to give you a feel for how this feels, yeah? And some folks, they get kind of spicy on this one. They'll do some vocalization. They'll remind them like they're Tarzan or something like that. And you can do that too. Or not. Very good. So next is the second brain in our bodies, which is the gut, right? So let's just go ahead and get the gut going here. Sometimes when I feel like I have really tight breathing, I'll take my fingers below the ribs and just stroke across that diaphragm to kind of release tension being held in the diaphragm. And then, I'll chop, I'll do fists, maybe bring it to the backside. Again, the gut is considered to be the second brain of the body. All right, so I'm going to take my feet a little wide, and then where that leg inserts into the torso, that's the inguinal crease. I never can say that word, but we're going to take the sides of the hands and what we call chopping the qua in Tai Chi. We turn from the qua in Tai Chi, so just kind of know that's a term kind of unique to this movement practice. And you can also stroke softly up. In mixed company, we chop the qua. And then bring those feet in. And again, before we were doing those knee bounces, right? Let's clap the hands, ignite the fire here in our palms. And this might be easier seated on a chair, but let's try to do the standing. Bend those knees, place a little heat on those knees. And then come up on those fingertips to stimulate those acupressure places. And tap, tap, tap the side of the knees to lessen knee pain. And then stroke the back of the knees for, again, the last place in our big six, in our QiGong Detox. Very good. Clap the hands, rub some heat here. And I'm going to scoot back just a little bit. Next, feet about shoulder width apart. Next is sweep and reach. So basically up, and we're bending those knees. Again, if you need to have the head look center for those dizzy challenges, please do so. Otherwise, if you can turn the head, please do so. And we'll switch this into drawing sideline number 8. Your cursive 8. And then let's reverse that, go the other way, which again feels odd to me, maybe you too. Kind of breathing deep into those lungs when we do this type of work. Let's do 2 more. 2 and 1. Woo! All right, so next, again, if you need to have a chair in the room, you can always have a chair. We're going to be doing the bone density. I'm going to grab one of my chairs just in case I have some balance challenges. Have it close by. Wouldn't even think about that. But the bone density is basically coming up in the balls of the feet and coming down. So if you're not wanting to make that drastic drop, then you can take your chair and just lift up and slowly lower. Or if you can do that on your own also. Okay, again, bone density. Good for strengthening those ankles. And 1 more. All right, let's place those feet back into horse stance, basically toes turning out, bend in the knees, nice and balanced, feet firm into the floor. And we're going to draw a circle in and the other. It's called Perry. Breathing in, breathing out. Getting those shoulders lubricated a little bit. Now let's pause and then wipe out. There's a little shifting of weight one side to the other. You may notice that. And then let's bring it as if you were wiping the windows. Very good. And then let's pause and wipe it in. Takes a couple times to kind of get used to the pattern, yeah? If you want to be a little bit more vigorous, you can make fists and dig the elbows in. You're really going to get into that upper body, into the ribs, into the chest. And let's bring it back here horizontal, wiping it in. And then make it smaller, smaller, and small. Very good. Bring a foot in, bring the other. And then inhale, circle, sweep arms up with the finishing breath. Exhale. Next is monkey stretch. So when we do chair Tai Chi, we do like an abbreviated form of monkey stretch. We're going to be doing the full monkey stretch now. So basically, we're going to take one of our feet, we're going to heel ball toe out to the side, and then one hand upon the other, and then you shift forward, your weight bearing in the bent knee, and then you bring it towards your chest and bend the knee outward, bend that back leg, and once again, hands. And then from here, bring the hands way up, point the toe, and then bring that foot in, and you're switching over to the other side. Heel ball toe, and then bring the hand down, bend that knee, bring it in, bring it back on out, bring it back towards you again, and bring it down, and then way up, point that toe, lift, lift, lift. Very good. Bring that heel in, turn over to the other side, step out that foot, heel, ball, toe, bring it down, bend that knee, bring it towards you, and out, back towards you, and out. And here we go, up to the sky. Last time this side, point, point, point that toe. Bring that foot in, bring the other one out, heel, ball, toe, and point it away, bend that knee, bring it towards you, and bring it back on out, bring it towards you again. And again, one more time, back out, and then up, 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 lift up, lift that heel up, have the pointed toe, bring it in, hands together, bring it down the heart center, and do that finishing breath right here. Inhaling, circle, sweep arms up, and bring down the energy from the heavens. Very good. Excellent. So I'm not sure how good I am at this next posture, but we're going to try it. We do this seated. It's called Monk Carries the Flag, and it is a balance movement sequence. So if you need to have your chair close by because you're going, I'm not sure, maybe you want to watch first and then attempt that yourself. So again, we're pointing the toes out just a little bit, heels towards the center, and we're going to bend the knees. And then let's shift the weight over to one side and then have the top hand, the hand that's coming across, be on top, the other one on bottom here. And then the leg that's out to the side, bring it in, shift it in. And so you're weighted on this side that has the flagpole. The option is to lift the leg or not, which I can't do very well. And then we'll take the leg out, heel, ball, toe, shift the weight, and then shift the hands. Bring that leg next to the other one. You're rooted down in the monk carries the flag leg. Lift the leg up. And again, I can't do that too well. And then step the leg out, shifting over, switching the hands. Bring that foot in. Now your knee is bent. You're rooted down in the balanced leg. Lift the leg up and then step that foot out, switching sides, and you're staying bent in the knee. Bring it in. Again, if you're able, lift the knee up and down, shift it out, bring it in. We're going to do one more each side. So again, you're rooted, your bent knee is coming nice and bent, nice and down to the floor. Lift that leg up, down, and over to the side. Shift the hands, bring the foot in. Again, rooted down on that balanced leg. Lift the foot up and down, and then come back to the center. And inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, hands come on down. Okay, again, feet nice and wide. And inhaling, circle, sweep arms up. And bringing the palms down this time. And bend those knees just a little bit. We're in the horse stance. We're in a kind of a sweetly softened bent knee horse stance. And what we'll do here is inhale, bring an arm across. We're shifting weight over to the side. Exhale, out to the side, shifting weight over to the side where the arm is going. Inhale, up and over. And then exhale, out here in front. Bring it back to the center. Very good. Let's do the other side. Inhale, bring it across, shift that weight. Exhale, out to the side. Inhale, up and over, shifting the weight. Staying here with that shifted weight. Exhale, land it in front of you. And bring it back to the center. Let's do that with a little poem. All right, so eagle flies, swallow flies east. I'm thinking about eagles. Swallow flies west. Swallow flies up and over and lands in its nest. Other side, swallow flies east, doesn't know directions. Swallow flies west. Swallow flies up and over and lands in its nest. One more time, each side. Inhale, bring it across. Exhale, bring it out to the side. Inhaling up and over. And exhaling out here in front of you. Bring it back to the center. Last time. Inhale, bring it across. Exhale out to the side. Inhaling up and over. And exhaling. From here, inhale, circle sweep arms up. Bring down the chi. Very nice. Step a foot in, step the other foot in. And then from here, let's just kind of shake. We're doing the shaking gong now. So we had a little buildup of that lactic acid when we're staying in horse stance position. You may have noticed that or not. And if you can, let's bring it up, side to side. Very good. Maybe you want to do wrists up, flap those wrists. Very good. From here, we're stepping the feet wide and we're slapping our waist. There's several ways to do this. You can keep the feet flat on the floor, or as you turn, you can lift the heel. So it just kind of depends how this feels for you and your knee. So this is, we're tapping the Ming Meng, which is the gate of life. And of course, our organs in the front. And then we'll bring it here to the chest and the upper back. Again, whatever your range of motion is today. The lungs. And then if you can, more of the upper back. And then bring it down, bring it back down a little bit. Bring it back to the waist, the colon, the kidneys, the spleen, the gallbladder. And then make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. From here, feet turned out a little bit to the side. Next is called the hug the tree. So we take our hands, bring it here about chest level with the elbows down. We kind of gaze at that space in between the hands. And so try to also have the shoulders pushed down. Don't raise them up. Relax those shoulders down. So it's kind of like hugging the tree meditation here. Notice the heart rate. Listen to the breath. Staying here just for a moment. Knees bent, ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. Gazing at that space in between the hands. And then from here, let's straighten the legs a little bit and point the fingers towards the earth. You might feel some sensation at the tips of the fingers. So releasing energy through those fingertips. Very good. So now I invite you to take a little sip of water, and then we'll work on the mother forms next. So again, take this opportunity to hydrate just a little bit. Do we have any questions at this point? You'd have to unmute and ask a question if you have a question. We're good? Okay. Thumbs up, we're good? Ready for the next part? Okay, all right. Well, I didn't stop recording, so that's good. All right, so next are the mother forms. So let me get here center in the camera. And I believe I can come up a little bit because I don't do too much hands above the head here on this one. So feet are shoulder width apart. Feet are parallel. Now maybe mine don't look parallel, but they're the best that I can do today. And first is upward, downward. And this is part of our form that we do in the Yang style 12. So we have, again, most of the weight in the heels, a little soft bend in the knees, and hands facing our legs. And for this one, it's basically, we'll have the palms to the back of the room. All right, so we're going to basically raise the arms up to about shoulder level, and then we draw them towards us I don't know, one of my arms likes to go lower than the other. Their elbows are out. And look, here I'm raising my shoulders. So try to really relax the shoulders as you draw it towards you and then float it down. So we're bending the knees as we float it down. Let's do that again. So basically, rise up, very slow inhaling, exhaling, draw it towards you. Elbows out to the side a little bit, and then exhale, lower. Bend those knees. So it's like you are floating through water. And again, let me do this sideways. Inhale, rise up. Draw it towards you. Exhale, lower. Nice and slow. Again, inhaling up to shoulder level. Draw the hands towards you. Exhale, float it down. Again, inhaling, raise up. Lower those shoulders. Exhale, draw it towards you. And down. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling, rising up. And then draw it towards you. Elbows out. Very good. Nice and slow. Exhale, float it down. You know what? We're going to do one more. Here we go. Inhale, rise. Straighten the legs. Lift up. Draw it towards you. Exhale, float it down. So next is we're going to gather the ball in front of us. So this is upward, outward. And then again, this is one of the forms that we do in our Tai Chi movement. So basically, you're raising it up here. And now once you get here at the eye level, you draw it out to the side and then float it down. Bend those knees this time. Bend the knees, bend the knees. Inhale, raise it up, upward. Draw it out. Exhale, bend the knees. Again, gather the ball. Draw it out and exhale. So there's a lot of things to think about when you're doing these movement things, these movement forms. Inhaling, raise it up, shoulders down, just bring it apart. Exhale, float it down, bend those knees. So you can't be in the past, you can't be in the future. You're here in the now. So there's a lot of anxiety reducing happening when you do a Tai Chi, when you do yoga movements, by the way. And again, one more time. Here we go. Gather the ball, straighten the legs softly, slowly. Once it gets to eye level, drag it up hard, float the arms down. Y'all are doing great. In fact, let's do one more. Here we go. Again, as if you're swimming in water. Yes. Very good. And let's form the ball. Once again, here at chest level, knees bent this time. And so imagine healing light entering through the crown of the head, just saturating every cell in your body. Feel that healing energy inside and out, head to toe, in every bone, every organ, muscle, and joint, every blood vessel, nerve, every layer of the skin. As you're breathing in and out, it's getting brighter and brighter. So breathe in the light, breathe in the healing, see it, feel it everywhere in your body. Imagine your body fully healed, whole, new again. Breathe in that feeling. And once again, let's bring the arms out to the side. Imagine toxins flowing through the fingertips, releasing that physical or emotional type of feeling that might be happening. And then let's do our finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And bring down the chi. All right. From here, kind of bend those knees, shake out those legs. Let's get a sip of water before we go on to the next part. So in our fall prevention yoga, there's a movement we call 3-point step, and it's to train you to do the empty step. So in Tai Chi, we don't really do movements, weight-bearing twisting. We move with what is called no weight bearing. So what we'll do for this 3-point empty step to kind of train us before we do the form is have the feet be parallel. Let's bring it out just a little bit here. Very good. And then from here, sink down on both the feet, and then inhale, raise up. And again, sink down. Now I invite you to shift your weight over to one side. So I'm doing that on my right side. Maybe you're mirroring me. And with this other foot, you can place your hands on your hips for this if you like, or hand on a chair or wall. You're rooted down. You're not trying to raise up out of that leg. You're rooted down. And you're going to bring a foot forward and have it be as straight as it can without shifting weight forward. Hope that makes sense. So again, I'm rooted down and I'm bringing my foot forward or on the heel. And then we bring it back to the ankle. Again, let's come up, inhale up. Exhale, come back on down. So root down into that left leg, bring the foot forward and back to the heel. Now we're still rooted in that left leg. We're going to imagine there's a pencil on the bottom of our heel, and we're going to draw our foot out to the side. So draw it out to the side and bring it in. The last part of this, the 3-point step, is to point the toe out behind you. Again, you're rooted down in that left foot. Point the toe behind you. Again, most of the weight is in the forward bent knee and back to the heel. And then raise up. Let's go ahead and shake the legs out a little bit, and let's practice the other side. So again, bend both knees. Let's root down. And in fact, let's inhale up. And again, exhale, root down. Now we're going to shift our weight over to the other side, to the right leg. And this next time, the other foot's going to come forward. You're resting on the back of the heel. So again, if you find yourself like shifting your weight forward, we're trying to stay rooted down in that bent knee side, and then bring it back to the ankle. Let's draw that sideline foot out to the side. Your toe is up and back to the ankle. And then back behind you at an angle, point that toe. Again, you're rooted down. Don't lift up. You're going to lose a little balance if you lift up. Bring it back to the ankle. And then lift up, breathe in. Exhale, lower. Let's do that inhaling again. Exhale, lower. Let's do that one more time. Hands on the hips. Start with that original side. Shift your weight into the left foot. Right foot comes forward. Heel to the ankle, out to the side, to the ankle, back behind you, to the ankle. Inhale, lift up, and bring the feet a little bit apart. Exhale, lower. Let's do that again. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink down. Now shift your way over to the other leg, the right foot, and bring that other foot forward, resting on that back of the heel, back to the ankle, out to the side, back to the ankle, and then back behind you, back to the ankle. Raise up, and again, move a little bit. Very nice. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate the Yang 12. Maybe you want to follow along with me, and then I'm going to break down the first couple of postures that we're doing for today's class. So the first pose that we do is called Eagle Stance. And it's going to be toes out at that 30-degree angle, heels together to begin with. All right, y'all ready? Thumbs up. Okay, here we go. So what we'll do is we're going to lower, bend the knees, and then inhale, rise. Let's do that again. Exhale, bend the knees. We'll rise one more time. And now we'll start our preparation stance. So exhale, lower. From here, I'm going to step a leg out to the side. So it's heel, ball, toe. And then I'm shifting my weight over to that heel, ball, toe side. With the other foot, I'm turning the foot inward to where it's pointing straight ahead. Then I'm shifting my weight back, turning the other foot inward, and then I'm coming back to the center. So here's one of the movements that we'll be doing. It's called center and sink. So my knees are bent already. So I'm going to inhale up to about waist level, draw my hands towards me, exhale, bend the knees. Now I'm going to do upward, downward. Inhale up, draw it towards you, exhale down. Now I'm going to shift my weight over to one side. Then I'm going to form the Tai Chi ball. I'm turning my foot out to the side. So as there's no weight bearing going on with this foot turned out to the side, whatever foot I've turned out to the side, that's going to be the top of my ball, the other one underneath. Then I shift my weight. Very good. Next is called bow and arrow. So this foot that's pointed towards the front of the room, I'm going to step it forward, heel, ball, toe, and then shift my weight forward. As I shift my weight forward, I turn the ball. Very good. Then I shift to the back leg, lift the front foot, turn it to where it's parallel to the one that's in the back of the room. Now I'm shifting my weight to the front of the room. I'm going to do that bow and arrow stance again. So I'm stepping my foot out to the side, heel, ball, toe, and then shifting my weight forward. Then I'm going to take my bottom hand in front of me, other hand down here by my hip. So this is called ward off. So you kind of lift that elbow up. You're protecting your chest. I'm shifting my weight backwards, lifting that toe, and then I'm turning on the heel, no weight bearing on this back foot. All right, so I'm going to start over. We're going to start on the other side. Sorry about that, folks. So again, toes out, heel here. We're going to lower. And as we raise it up, we're going to breathe in and exhale. From here, I'm shifting my weight over. I'm stepping out to the side, shifting my weight, turning the foot, turning the other foot, coming back to the center. And I inhale, raise up to waist level, and exhale down. Again, up here to shoulder level, draw it towards you, exhale down. Again, I'm going to shift over to one side, turn the foot out, shift my weight, form that Tai Chi ball. This foot, I'm going to step it forward, heel, ball, toe, and then shift the weight forward, turn the ball. Then shift the weight to the back foot, lift the heel, turn the foot parallel, shift the weight to the forward foot. And with this back foot, I'm going to turn it out a little bit, step it out to the side, and then shift the weight forward and do the hand in front of the chest, hand here by my hip. Very good. From here, I'm shifting the weight to the back leg and then doing what's called roll back, roll that hand back, and then press into my palms. Then I shift my weight to that back foot once again and push it away. From this push position, I'm going to shift my weight back, lift that back heel, turn my body to where that back foot is going to be pointing straight forward. My weight is in that forward leg. From here, I'm making a circle, shifting my weight to the back foot. Once my arms kind of go up, I'm going to step back, toe, ball, heel, draw it in and down. From here, inhaling up, bringing my arms out and down. I'm going to turn my shift my weight, turn my foot out, step it in, and do the finishing breath to finish this side. Very good. All right, let's see if we have any questions. Get a little sip of water at the same time. So that was one side of the Yang 12. We do the same movements on the second side. So what I want to practice with you right now is the stepping out to the side, the first 4 movements in the Yang 12. So again, the first movement is eagle stance. Let me get centered here. And then we bend the knees. And then on the next one, we inhale, rise up. And again, we bend the knees, we shift the weight over to one side. So we're rooted in that leg. And then we do that side step out with the foot at an angle, heel, ball, toe. We shift the weight and turn in the foot. Very good. Shift the weight back over to this leg and turn in the other foot. And then we got to come back to the center to feel nice and centered. From here, inhale, raise it up to about hip level. Breathe in, exhale, lower. Let's go up to shoulder level. Inhaling up, draw it back. Once again, we're shifting our weight, we're rooting down, bend that knee. We're turning the foot in an empty step. So there's no weight bearing going on when we turn the foot. Again, whatever leg we have turned out, that's going to be the top of the ball, the other hand underneath, and then shift the weight over into that side. Very good. Let's come back to the center, and let's do this on the other side. We have not done this on the other side yet. So again, eagle stance, and we'll bend our knees to lower, to kind of initiate the move, and then inhale, raise up. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Now, this next time, we're shifting our weight into the other leg. So shift your weight into the other leg, step the foot out to the side, heel, ball, toe. Shifting your weight over, turn the foot in. Shift your weight back on over, turn the other foot in, come back to the center. Now we're going to do center and sink. So center, raise up, arms up to about center. Exhale, bend the knees. And again, inhale, rise up to shoulder height. Draw it towards you. Exhale, lower. Once again, shifting the weight over into the leg. We're going to be turning the other foot out, hand on top, hand underneath, and then shift the weight forward. Very good. Come back to the center. Let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up, and do the finishing breath. Very good. I want to come up to the camera now. Are there any questions or comments or concerns here? No? All right, so what I'll do next is I'm going to turn around and go through the entire form on one side, and I'll probably turn back around and do the form on the other side. So you can follow along just to kind of get the idea of what we're doing here. So this is the martial art version of the Tai Chi, is our forms, all right? So again, let me make sure I can see myself in the camera. Okay, so we have the feet at that eagle stance. Arms out to the side, and let's go ahead and bend the knees. And then inhale, rise. And again, bend the knees. I'm going to shift my weight over into that left side. I'm going to step the right foot out, heel, ball, toe. Shifting the weight, turn the foot in, turn the other foot in, come back to the center. From here, inhale halfway up, center and sink, exhaling. Now here we go, up to shoulder height. Inhale, raise it up to shoulder height, draw it towards you, and exhale. So this is going to be on the right-hand side. So I'm shifting my weight over to the left, turning that foot, hand on top, heel, ball, toe, shift forward. From here, I'm taking that left foot, stepping it forward. This is the bow and arrow stance. Once that's there, then I shift my weight and I'm turning the ball. Now I'm going to shift my weight to the back foot, lift that forward foot, turn it parallel, and shift my weight back here. Now I'm taking this other foot, stepping it out, heel, ball, toe, the second bow and arrow stance. And once I have landed it, I'm shifting my weight and bringing my hand in front. It's called ward off, and the other hand by my hip. From here, I'm shifting my weight and bringing my hand back behind me. Is called roll back, and then press my palms into one another, shifting weight to that forward leg. Inhaling back. Exhale, push it forward. So here's where it gets interesting. I'm shifting back, lifting that foot and turning the foot to where it's going to be pointing straight. And I'm bringing that hands down in a circle, all the way in the circle, shifting our weight to that back leg. Take that forward foot, step it back, toe ball heel, and then lower down. From here, let's do upward, outward, inhaling up and out. So I turn my foot out to the side, step the other one in, and inhale, circle, sweep arms up for that finishing breath. All right. So that was the back view. So, I was doing the same direction as you all would be doing. And now I'll finish it off with the front view. And then we'll end our class and we'll have entertaining questions after that. So once again, let's put our feet into eagle stance, little soft bend in the knees, everything nice and aligned, chin tucked in, weight into the back of the foot. From here, let's go ahead and bend the knees. And then inhale, rise. Big O breath, exhale. Shift your weight into your leg. Step your foot out to the side, heel ball toe. And then once the weight is shifted, turn the foot. It's turned in an empty step. Shift your weight back over to that other leg. Turn the other leg, and then come back to the center. Now we're going to do center and sink. So inhale up to about waist level. Exhale down. Let me come more in the center. And then inhale way up towards the sky or towards our shoulders. And exhale. From here, shift your weight over. Turn that foot out. Hand on top, hand on bottom, and then shift your weight forward with your forming of the Tai Chi ball. This back leg, we're going to step it forward, heel ball toe. All that weight's in that back leg though. And then shift your weight forward, turn your ball, turn your chest to the front of the room. Very good. Now we shift the weight to the back foot, lift the toe, turn the foot parallel. Then shift your weight again to the forward foot. From here, we're going to take this back foot now, kind of turn the foot out to the side, and step forward in that second bow and arrow. Once you have landed at heel ball toe, you shift your weight forward, bring the hand in front of your chest, other hand here by your hip. Again, ward off. Maybe called different things in other practices. And then shift your weight backwards, bring the hand back behind you, and push into the hand, shifting the weight forward, shift the weight back. Now we're going to lift that heel, turn on the heel, this is a tough one to do, okay? Getting that foot nice and aligned. Bring the hands down, so you're kind of drawing a circle with the hands. Shift your weight to the back foot. Once your hands get kind of airborne here, you can step, toe ball heel, draw it in, and down. And let's do upward, outward. Very good. We're going to shift the weight over and step it in. And then finish with the finishing breath. And then we take that right fist, that's the sun, that left palm, that's the moon, and bow down to one another. So this gives you a little taste of what we're kind of getting ourselves into. Going to go ahead and stop the recording and entertain any questions